Welcome. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Did you get a chance to do the homework? Did you watch the video about the 50 most commonly used verbs in simple past?
Hi, teacher. Yes, I did it.
Okay.
It is very useful.
Okay, very good. I'm glad you found it useful. All right, guys. So we're gonna start today's class with a picture, with an image. I'm gonna share my screen. I'll show you a picture and then I'll ask you some questions about it, okay? All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay. So
I
what
see.
do you see? What do you see in this picture?
Mm, I see Paris city.
Paris. Okay. Very good. Very good. Where is Paris? Is that in Germany, in Italy, in the United States? Where is that place? Where is that city?
It is in France.
In France. Very good. Very good. What can you do? What activities can you do in this place?
um, Walk in the street,
Mm-hmm.
visit museum,
Huh?
um, drink coffee in the little coffees.
Okay, very good. So walk the street, visit the museums, maybe have coffee in the little cafes. Okay, very good. Excellent. All right. So now we're going to read a short little text about a trip. Okay, about a trip. I'll read first. I'll read first, and then you guys can read if you like. Okay. So the title
Okay,
of the text is Carlos's Unforgettable Trip to New York City. Carlos's Unforgettable Trip to New York City. Unforgettable means something that is so good or so special that is difficult to forget, that you always remember. Okay? All right, so
okay.
Carlos' Unforgettable Trip to New York City. Last summer, I traveled to New York City. I visited Central Park and the Empire State Building, but I did not go to the Statue of Liberty because I ran out of time. I bought souvenirs for my family, but I did not spend too much money. For lunch, I ate pizza and tasted amazing. One evening, I met an old friend and we talked about college memories. Unfortunately, I did not see a Broadway show because tickets were sold out. The trip was unforgettable, and I hope to return someday. All right, Carlos's unforgettable trip to New York City. So raise your hands if you would like to read the text. Okay, Judith, please go ahead.
Thank you, teacher. Uh, Carlos' unforgettable trip to New York City. Last summer, I traveled to New York City. I visited Central Park and the Empire State Building, but I did not go to the Statue of Liberty because I ran out of time. I bought souvenirs for my family, but I did not spend too much money. For lunch, I ate pizza and it tastes amazing. One evening, I meet an old friend and we talk about college memories. Unfortunately, I did not see a Broadway show because tickets were sold out. The trip was unforgettable. Unfor
Unforgettable.
unforgettable.
Yeah, that's very
And
good.
I
That's a difficult.
to return someday.
Okay, very good. Very good. All right, guys. So we're going to discuss today's objective, the objective for today's lesson now. Okay. So as you might have guessed, as you might have imagined, today's lesson's objective has to do with the simple past. Remember, that's the reason why as homework, I asked you to watch that video about the 50 most commonly used verbs in simple past. Okay, so the objective for today's lesson is you will be able to use the simple past tense to discuss past travel experiences, right? Kind of like what we just read about Carlos's unforgettable trip to New York City. In this text that you guys just read, he talks about his experience, his travel experience to New York, and he uses verbs in the past to describe those experiences. Okay, so you will be able to use the simple past tense to discuss past travel experiences. You will demonstrate this ability by writing a short text, 2 to 3 paragraphs, in which you use the simple past tense to describe your past travel experiences. Okay, so we're going to talk about the simple past tense, and we're going to use it to describe past travel experiences similar to what we just read. And you guys will, at the end of the lesson, at the end of the class, you will write a short text, again, similar to the one we just read, describing a past travel experience or a trip, right? It could be a recent trip, or it could be a trip that you took many years ago. Okay, so that will be today's objective for today's lesson. Now, I have a couple questions for you before we start talking about the simple past. Do you think learning verbs in the past tense is important? Do you think it's important to learn verbs in the past tense or not, and why?
Yes, it is very important because we use for describe uh, past situaciones pasadas.
Good. All right. So if I say I traveled, or I am traveling, am I expressing the same idea, or are these different ideas? If I say I traveled, or I'm traveling, is this the same thing, or am I expressing different ideas? What do you think?
Mm, change the time in I am traveled.
Okay, yes, very good, very good. When you use verbs in different tenses, you're referring to events or actions or experiences that occurred at different moments in time. That's correct. That's correct. Finally, do verbs change in the past, present, and future in your native language? I assume your native language is Spanish, right? Are verbs in Spanish the same if you're talking in the present, in the past, or in the future, or do they change?
The verbs change in
Okay,
my native language change.
okay, good, good, yes. So it is similar in English, right? Verbs are not the same if you're talking about an event that occurs in the present, that is regularly, or an event that is occurring now, or an event that already occurred, something that occurred in the past.
Yes.